Yes. This is the third innovation, the solar dryer intervention. So basically, this intervention seeks to address. Okay. The solar dryer intervention just um, tries to address the issue of post-harvest losses with respect to. So in this case, we looked at tomato and pepper. So we okay, okay. So just like I said, to reduce post-harvest losses, particularly with vegetables. And so we looked at tomato, we looked at pepper, and the issue of losses with respect to vegetables is very high in Nigeria. And the way and methods at which farmers dry and even processors, how they dry tomato and pepper is quite traditional and is quite unsafe. So we came up with the solar dryer intervention because the solar dryer provides a more controlled environment such that you are able to have access to a longer shelf life for these vegetables, then reduce the incidence of um, contaminants. So, and in that way, the quality of these vegetables are preserved and also the nutritional value. So the research questions basically is just to see how this intervention can improve economic returns for even the farmers and the marketers along the value chain, and also to be able to see whether um, consumers are willing to pay a premium even for solar dried vegetables, in this case, tomato and pepper. And we also looked at some laboratory experiments, which is currently ongoing. And so in this presentation, we provide um, findings from the needs assessment and the baseline, and also some highlights of the solar dryer installation. So this is the picture on your right is an example of the solar dryer in one of the 10 locations in Kano State. So we have these dryers installed in 10 communities in Kano State, and the choice of the farmer is, or the community is where we have high volume of tomato and pepper production, and also where we have processors that actually dry these vegetables. And we also did a listing of these processors and these farmers who grow vegetables, so we could be able to pull out a sample of treatment farmers and those that will be in the control. It is also a randomized control treatment experiment, so we could actually rotate farmers in the way they use, or processors in the way they use the dryer. So this is just a snapshot of the process of the intervention. We already done the needs assessment. The installation of the solar dryer has been done in the 10 communities. We've done the baseline survey. The laboratory experiment is ongoing, while the implementation would commence between November and December. So this snapshot of the findings from the needs assessment. We could see here that about 10 maximum for pepper and tomato in their current drying method. And also some questions on challenges in their current drying method. There's always there and due to fungal infestation and even also weather actually determine the length of the drying period. So all of these challenges were reported from and also question on what do they expect from an improved drying method. So they said better faster drying period and also that if they try with an improved technology, there will be increased income and more market opportunities for them. Okay, for the baseline, we identified 22 locations and from 22, 10 we selected based on the criteria I mentioned earlier. And solar glass is constructed in best community sector. And we random samples interview 100 farmers in each community who participate in the RTP. So here is sort of the sampling across 10 communities, and some of them are sort of contributing. Here we see that the findings of the baseline that the farmers like different and better and more like the weather was drying. Okay. And now the drying is mostly done by adult men in the household and also the hired labor. Um, just like we reported in the needs assessment, the ground sun drying and the roof drying are the predominantly forms of drying, more for the ground sun drying than the rooftop. And we also see the quantity of dried products that come even from their current mode of drying. Here we see the length of days for drying. We see that it is quite high, and farmers have to wait quite a number of days to dry these products. And marketing, they currently sell their dried products through aggregators or off-takers, and also some of them through local consumers. For the major market channels, we have the wholesale market and the local retail market as the main marketing channels for their dried vegetables, tomato and pepper. So now the final question at the baseline was just to test the knowledge and the interest of these farmers and processors about the usage of the solar dryer technology. And quite appreciable number of them were interested and were aware of the solar dryer technology, and questions as to what could be a barrier to adoption. They said knowledge on use of the solar dryer and also maintenance is also a major problem in the use of the solar dryer. So I would pass this to Dr. Karnaldeen to explain the installation of the solar dryer system. Thanks. Yes, it's fine. Yes, it's 5 minutes.
Good afternoon. I won't take much of our time. He has explained the basics. So this is a solar dryer. The technology is from the Nigerian Store Product Research Institute. We have different scales. We have 250 kg, we have 500 kg, and I can tell you here, the first over 1 ton kg was built for IFPRI. This is what you see. It's around 1,213 kg, very big. As you can see, this is the steps for construction of the solar dryer. We have the basement, we have the parabolic shape, and we have UV screen light, light screen, we have extractors, and of course we have solar system. We'll explain this here. The basement is dyed black. The reason for that is to increase the absorption and of course to enhance the storage of solar energy. When there is no sun in the evening, you can be able to release it out. And of course, the frame is made parabolic to utilize the aerodynamic properties so that it doesn't give large surface area to airflow, which can be of a problem to the polythene or covered. The UV light screen is a major problem we have. We don't have it in Nigeria now. We imported it to Nigeria. And we've tried a lot of materials in Nigeria, which is actually not giving us as good as this. And what this is doing is screening the ultraviolet light and of course enhancing the solar collection in such a way to accumulate the heat within the environment. Let me say this. The environmental temperature is around 36, 38. But with the use of this special UV screen, light screen, we're able to accumulate up to 68 degrees centigrade of temperature within the system. The reason for solar extractors is to serve as chimney, to remove the moisture, vapor moisture within the system. Because if that's not removed, it turns to cooking, which can actually affect the color of the product. The heat exchanger is being put within the system to ensure there is heat exchange through radiative or conductive or convective drying within the system. And this has been the major, what do I call it? Major modification that has been done to the dryer. So the training was conducted. We emphasize on sorting, which is very important, and washing before slicing. During the training, we trained them to ensure a very good method of slicing because that affects the drying rate of especially tomato. So we trained them to slice into 4, slice into 3, and slice into 2. At the end of the day, you want to look at the homeless of the tomato and which one is easy to crumble at the dry time. Then the arrangement of the trays, the loading of the dryers, and the drying operation were taking place. Yes, we are currently carrying out the laboratory experiment. What we are doing, basically, is not just to look at the drying rate. There is a major problem being faced by these farmers. We have a good drying technology that can actually maintain the color and the quality. Let's say physical and chemical or microbial qualities of the dried tomato. But when they put it in storage, there is another problem. You discover that within 2-3 months, tomato becomes black, pepper becomes white. So we need to solve this. So that is the major reason for this lab experiment. Okay, we look into that, look into different packaging materials to see which one will give them the best in terms of color and including the storage conditions. This is inspection of the solar dryer by Dr. Futoshi when he came to Kano. This is conclusion. Thank you very much.